I found my twin locked in the basement. 1. Her father was a writer. Some jobs you can do with other people or around them. A bartender, tattoo artist, stripper. But writers write alone, he told her. He'd disappear into the basement each night after dinner. He said it was quiet, cool, a good place to write. She never went down there, not because it was forbidden, but because he asked her not to. That was enough. He'd usually wash the dishes while she helped him. Not the washing, but the drying. Then she'd watch a movie or text her friends in her room and he'd write, until it was her bedtime. Rules were pretty loose in their house if TV families were to be believed. A benefit of just having a father and being the only child. This is the way it had always been. People cling to their comforts and routines are comfortable. Maybe executioners came home in the evening, let their wife clean, then oil their blades. If it's the only life you know, you have nothing to compare it to. Her mother was gone a long time. She left when the girl came. Imagine being born on the bed that your mother died on, at the very same time. Maybe they saw each other in passing, one ghost coming and the other leaving. Did they wave or hug or just shake hands? So it had always been just her and her father. He'd read her his stories at night in her bed. He read out loud so he could test the rhythm. The next morning he'd ask her opinion. She'd gotten good at critique. They were nearly always science fiction. He said he loved space. She understood this innately because she loved space too. Her sheets were planets. Comforters and pillowcases were aliens. Her underwear had stars. Well, Wonder Woman, but close enough. You can't have space without aliens, she thought. All that room and no one home. 2. The Moon That Forgot How to Orbit, he read, was a story about a small moon named Minnow, who circled a cold, quiet planet at the edge of its galaxy. Minnow was a good moon. He liked orbiting. He liked the soft, whirling sound that stars made as they swung past. But one day Minnow got curious, wondered what would happen if he stopped, just stopped. No more orbiting, no more spinning. He wanted to see, really see what was beyond, what was just out of reach. So he did. He froze mid-swing. The gravity panicked, then cracked. Tides rose and never fell, trees tore at their roots. Birds bumped into mountains, even the silence changed. Into one long scream. The planet begged him, "Come back, orbit again. We need you." But Minnow refused. He had spotted something, a strange shimmer far out, near the edge of everything. He drifted toward it slowly, like a child sneaking out of bed to peek into a locked drawer. When he reached the shimmer, he found a library, a real one, floating in space. The books inside were made of starlight, and the librarians were all moons who had once stopped orbiting too. They walked on tiny legs, wore glasses made from broken telescopes. They told him, "Every moon that ever asked what else comes here, and every story we tell helps keep the galaxy from going stale." Minnow asked if he could stay. They said, "Only if you bring a new story." So he began writing one about a disaster that hit a cold little planet on the edge of a galaxy, about how billions died horrible deaths from floods, fires, and shivers, and how it all ended happily ever after. 3. Her father never too busy for her. They played games in the yard, mostly catch or frisbee, sometimes volleyball in the summers, or just raking leaves, gathering them in a wheelbarrow where they'd dumped them at the edge of the woods. There weren't many people around, instead a lot of trees. And distance. Writers need that too. Aloneness, not loneliness. But sometimes she suspected they needed that too. If he wasn't writing, they'd watch movies. Never horror. He scared too easily. First, they'd make ice cream by hand, then curl up under the wool trapper's blanket to find the old black and white space films. Cat Women of the Moon, First Spaceship to Venus, 20 million miles to Earth, The Phantom Planet, and The Space Children. Her favourites were actually anything with Cary Grant. He was so elegant and funny, in a sharp but not unkind way. But she didn't tell her father that. She also collected little ceramic cats from flea markets. They lined her windowsill in a neat row, all with different expressions. She named them after moons, Europa and Callisto, Triton, Charon and Deimos. She wasn't allowed a real cat, though. 2 is enough, he always said. 4. The day she found the 2 doors, she wasn't snooping. She always obeyed. But she was growing up, and her curiosity was growing too. When her father was out, she walked through the kitchen to the basement door, undid the lock that he usually forgot to lock, opened the door and found another door. It was metal, rusted, heavy, set 3 steps down. She realized she'd never seen the second door before. He never turned the light on when he went in. She stared at it a long time, fascinated. A new thing makes the world grow bigger. You have to pause and let your head expand. She almost stepped back into the kitchen, shut the door, and forgot it ever existed. But some new curiosity had begun to cling to her, like something a cat might have rubbed off, if she'd had one. The second door was locked too. That would have been the end of it, except for the keys hanging on a little hook from the bird box on the inside wall. My father has 2 doors for the room he writes in, she said to herself, to try it on. Then reached up and grabbed the keys. It should have been easy, 2 keys for 2 locks on the second door. It wasn't, because each lock had 4 possible orientations. She tried nearly all 16 combinations, feeling sicker with each one. When she swung the door inward, she saw darkness. And then, the girl, halfway up the stairs to meet her, eyes wide, hair undone. She saw herself, or someone identical, except the girl was naked. Not almost, but naked. And so she hesitated. Not from fear, but something more private. Shyness, maybe. She'd never seen herself like that before. Every freckle, every mole, every hair. The other girl, her twin, her double, start sobbing softly. "Please," the girl said, "please let me out." She stepped back and let the girl climb, barefoot, into the kitchen and into the light. They sat across from each other at the kitchen table, a 60s throwback of linoleum and chrome. Pure function over form, like all the furnishings, frozen in time the day her mother died. She poured apple juice for the girl, in a juice glass. The girl sipped, then gulped it, staring back at her, as if she'd never seen another girl before. Maybe she hadn't. Her eyes managed to be vacant, scared, and hopeless all at once, like a lazy Susan revolving somewhere inside her head. Awkward, she told her everything. About the ceramic cats, a boy at school with a lisp, how good her father's home mint ice cream was. She was going to ask about the basement, how long she had. Then she thought of him. Really thought. You could see the math juggling in her expanding head. What he would say, And what would happen? Maybe he'd go to jail. Maybe the other girl would get all the attention now, and all the gossip, and being alone. Maybe being with another family that wasn't hers, and really understanding alone. The other girl became restless, wringing her hands, getting up and sitting down, looking at the whole room at once. "He'll be back soon," she said. "We have to run." "I'll get help," she said. "Then we'll have tea. We'll watch movies. You can sleep in my bed. I always wanted a sister." The girl seemed frustrated she didn't share the urgency. She paused again, then told the basement girl to wait while she found her some clothes. She told her to step back down the stairway and close the door in case father came back in. The girl was used to taking orders and quickly climbed back down in the basement, looking back up once and gave a faint smile that said, "Hurry." She swung the metal door into its frame, locked the first door and then the second. Slowly, quietly. That night her father spooned soup into her bowl. "I think I'll go right," he said after dinner. She smiled. "Okay." If you enjoyed this splinter, this dark snack, subscribe and join us again for another journey into the unknown.